Jesus stops, and I always love to picture this, that when Jesus stops, all of the crowd kind of tumbles all over themselves, you know, bumping into each other as Jesus suddenly stops and says, call him over here. And the word that's used is phoneo. Phoneo is the same word used 3 times in the sentence. Call him over here. Call him. More yelling across the crowd to blind Bartimaeus. This word calling is very significant in Mark's gospel here. Call him to come. When the disciples take the message of Jesus, when the crowd takes the message of Jesus to Bartimaeus and says, take heart, in the text it says, take heart, he is calling to you. The Greek is, be of good cheer. Be courageous. Be of good cheer is the Greek word. That's the translation, and I'm retranslating it a little bit for you. Be of good cheer because he is calling to you. Come forth. Be awakened. Be awakened from your sleep of death. Get up. The Greek is be awakened from your sleep. Be aroused. That's the get up. That's the translation of why they put get up there. I don't know. Be of good cheer. Get up. Be aroused. Wake up. Get out of your death sleep and come forth. Come forward. Come. When Bartimaeus hears those words, he leaps up, he springs up, and he runs for Jesus. This is the key phrase in this passage. It isn't go, be healed. It isn't your faith has made you well. It is come. The key phrase of this passage is be of good cheer. Wake up from your sleep of death. Arouse yourself and come forward. Jesus is calling you. When Bartimaeus comes forth, when Bartimaeus springs up and goes toward Jesus, the presence of God has already been at work. He already sees. For when he comes to Jesus, there are 2 stories, 2 blind man stories that surround these texts. In chapter 8, there's a blind man story, and in chapter 10, there's a blind man story. Chapter 8, the blind man story, Jesus has to put saliva on the guy's eyes, and he has to do it twice, and he lays his hands on it. In the Bartimaeus story, there's no laying of hands on Bartimaeus. There's no touching of Bartimaeus. There's no incantation. There's nothing said. There are no magic words said. There's no be healed said to Bartimaeus. It is done. When Bartimaeus comes forth, and Jesus says, what do you want me to do for you? And Bartimaeus says, please give me my sight. Jesus answers, go. Your faith has made you well. The true significance of this passage, and you can say she is so far out there, but come with me, come with me. Jesus is anointed the new king. Samuel anointed King David to be the king of Israel. And today in Jericho, it is blind Bartimaeus who anoints Jesus, the new king. Today, walking through this city of palm trees, Jesus is given a new name. Jesus is given the new identity, Son of David, the new king who is headed to Jerusalem to conquer the city. This time, he's not excluding the blind and the lame. This time, he's bringing the blind and the lame with him. Here's Bartimaeus, who was the blind man, who was excluded, sitting on the side of the road. road, who has been taken up and called by Jesus, the new Son of David, and is now healed by his faith, and makes a decision in this moment to follow along, to follow and be with Jesus on the road to Jerusalem, to make an entrance into the city that excluded him and the lame. The message that is here for us is that we are on an incredible journey. We are headed with the new king to the city of Jerusalem, which he will conquer. But he will conquer it in a way that we are not ready for. He won't conquer it like David conquered it. He will conquer it as the king who becomes the sacrificial lamb. He will conquer it as the one who gives himself up for all of us. But the crowd that is with him, has been transformed by Bartimaeus. Not into just a crowd, but into a procession of the people who will pick up the palms from the city of palm trees and carry them with them up the mountain into Jerusalem. They will become the procession for the triumphant entry of the new King David into the city of Jerusalem. And they will sing songs, and they will be glad, and they will be transformed. We are invited in these weeks, we are invited every day to be transformed by our faith in Jesus Christ. To be transformed by faith, as was Bartimaeus in a moment in time. We are transformed ever and always, not just once, but every single day. To be able to see things differently, to be able to see things in a new way. Not to be stagnant people who say, well, I got my faith years ago, I got it now, I'm in a good place. No! Faith is something that transforms us endlessly, daily, every day. The invitation that we have from Bartimaeus is to spring up and get out of ourselves and to be those who can open our eyes and be awakened, brand new, again, by our faith in Jesus Christ. Let us follow along the way. Let us pick up our palm branches and become part of the procession, which next week awaits us. Amen.